the biggest mistake we made was that we were used to just going for games. And, I mean, we played our first. I remember when we got promoted, and I never watched Sunday Supplement because it's full of journalists who think they're footballers, who want to be footballers, who've never kicked a ball, you know, in their life, trying to tell you what should be done and how it should be done. And I remember Brian Woolnough, I think he's the late Brian Woolnough, saying we won't win a corner in the Premier League. And we went and we actually had to transfer the first game of the season because we had a stand that wasn't adequate for the Premier League. So the chairman had to get this stand built, this temporary permanent one, which it did all right, it's decent to be fair, but they had to put it up in quick time and it wasn't going to be ready for the first game of the season, so we had to switch the game to Wigan. And we beat them 4-0. And we were top of the league, we were top of the Prem that night, which, you know, is surreal. But yeah, the thing is that we were used to going for games in the Championship. You know, you've got to change your mentality. And the fact that what we didn't realise, or as a team, is that a big miss was Keith Southern. We missed Keith Southern. We had a midfield three of David Vaughan, Charlie Adam, and Keith Southern. They were all different. They all complemented each other. And Keith was injured, so we had a French lad coming, Elliot Grandin, and he was more of a forward player. But we had Charlie, who used to have a free role. You know, Keith and David Vaughan did interchange, but basically Charlie could do whatever he wanted. You wanted him on the ball with that unbelievable left foot of his in and around the box, you know. And we left this all open too much, in my opinion. And we chased games we didn't need to chase. You know, we were 2-1 up against Fulham going for it, and the hitters on the break at home. We ended up drawing a game we should have won, and we did that too many times, and we lost games that we should have drawn, and we drawn games we should have won if we'd have just gone 2 banks of 4 and seen it out. But that wasn't our nature, and it came too late. We realised that too late, I think, as a squad, as a team, and stuff. So, I mean, we are still the highest goal scorers ever to get relegated from the Premier League. We went down by 1 point, and the season after, we'd have finished in the top half. A points tally is ridiculous. That season, if you look at that league table and look at teams who've been relegated since and what points, it's ridiculous. It was just a thingy season. And there was so many games you can look back on now going, wow, if we'd have just, West Brom away is one to mind where, you know, if we'd have just, but we had that mentality. And teams, you know, it was like, we have to win it. And you don't in the Premier League. A point's a big thing in the Prem. We're in the Championship, you need to win games. Championship's such a tough game. You've got to get on a roll. You've got to win games. And the biggest difference is in the Prem that if you leave yourself open like that, they very rarely miss. You know, they very rarely miss. Teams, that's the biggest difference in the Championship, the Premiership, is that you get a ball away at Arsenal, you don't get it back. It usually ends up in your net, you know, 25 passes later. Or you know, or a Liverpool, or it's not always the case in the Championship. But yeah, we did realise that too late. We had an unbelievable season, it was an unbelievable journey, and we left the cell to beat United at Old Trafford, and they just won the Premier League, and we went 2-1 up. We were 1-0 up, then we went 2-1 up, and we were just attacking, and it's hard to say, you know, probably a bit too long to defend at United, but it ended up, in my opinion, what done us. But if you look at the stats, I think we are the highest goal scoring team to ever get relegated, and we went down on ridiculous points. I think Birmingham went down that year, and they won the Coca-Cola Cup, or whatever you call it now. What was it called at the time? You know, so it was a surreal league in itself that year. But yeah, I mean, just the one other point as well is that on the first day, I remember Holloway saying 4-3-3, and he said the only time he'd change it is if we played Liverpool. He'd tweak it if we played Liverpool, and that season we'd done a double over Liverpool. So yeah, he was brilliant. He was brilliant for me. He was a fantastic bloke. He was a manager who wore his heart on his sleeve. You know, a bit like Kevin Keegan. You know, and he could have a meltdown and that, but it was his honesty and his enthusiasm, and like I say, he kicked every ball with you, but he had a team spirit that I've never had since. You know, I mean, and I've been involved with some great lads. Southampton, we had a fantastic squad. Preston, we had a fantastic squad. Some of the clubs I've been, but the Blackpool squad that I left the first time, you know, was an unbelievable But this one, I mean, we're still all on a WhatsApp. We're still all friends. We still, you know, we're still all. It's right. I've never been involved in anything like it before, and I think we are the lowest budget team to ever get promoted to the Premier League, and I don't think that's ever, in the way the game's gone, I don't think that's ever going to change anytime soon. To be fair.